kids, it's the Piston Fly here, hope you're well, out and about on another bike review. Very excited today because I've never ever ridden a KTM before, so that's what I'm doing today. Now, I'm not doing it by halves because I've gone right in at the deep end. This is the Super Duke GT, which has the DNA of what used to be called the Beast. So it's a 1.3 litre beast of a bike. This one is the kind of, if you like, sport touring variant of that. If you stick around and stay tuned for the next couple of minutes, I'll tell you what I think. Now, I often think that what you first think in the first sort of couple of minutes of riding a bike is often true. You know, first impressions often are correct, I find. Sometimes you're wrong, but in this case, on this bike, my first impressions are that it's a lot smaller than I thought it was going to be. It feels like a small, chunky bike, and it's a lot easier to ride as well. I was a little bit intimidated, to be honest, about getting on one of these after having watched various reviews myself and read a lot about the bike over the last sort of year since it's been out. But actually, just round town here, doing this slow stuff, it's a bit of a, you know, it's a pussycat. It's all right for the slow speed stuff in town, no problem at all. Now, I'm going this route because I know there's a bit of dual carriageway up here, and I want to give her a bit of a go on the dual carriageway. Mainly because, you know, these bikes, you don't buy them because you want to lollop around at slow speeds enjoying the countryside. These KTMs are known for their sporty characteristics. This is kind of their sport touring bike, if you like, but the emphasis is very much on the sport rather than touring. This bike is, I guess, its competitors would be things like the Ducati Multistrada and maybe the BMW S1000 XR, which again are sort of practical, comfortable bikes, but with a bite when it comes to the engine. From a comfort point of view, I'd say very nice. The riding position, very natural. Feels a bit like my Street Triple, actually. You're a little bit leant forward, I suppose. There's a little bit of weight on your arms, but nothing untoward, not like a sports bike or anything like that. It's a very comfortable position. I would say the seat is pretty hard, though. It's a bit like sitting on a plank, which is no issue when you're just out for an hour's blast like I am, but I don't know if, you know, a long day on the French auto routes, and you might begin to wish you had a bit of padding on the backside. Right, the roads are a bit wet and greasy today, so I'm not going to be thrashing it ridiculously, but I can already tell that this bike has got loads of go. Be nice to get out of the way of White Van Man, of course. Surprisingly little wind buffet off of this screen. The screen looks tiny, but I feel quite well protected. A little bit of wind on my shoulders, but generally speaking, the wind protection pretty good. I'm not getting any turbulent air off the screen. I'm feeling a bit of air on the helmet, but it's not untoward and it's not turbulent, so it's not unpleasant at all. Suspension is, I'd say, on the firm side, but it's completely appropriate for this sort of bike. It's certainly not uncomfortable. I mean, coupled with the hard seat, you could be bouncing all over the place, but actually it just gives you a nice feel for the road. My God, I just wound on there out of interest and the thing just wants to go. I mean, I'm already doing, well, indicated legal speeds, let's put it that way. So I don't want to be going any faster, but man, this bike can really shift. And the big old V-twin sounds absolutely amazing. I think it's just got the stock cans and it's got a lovely rumble to it. Wow, it is a beast. Very practical for such a sporty bike. It's got heated grips that are toasting my hands lovely at the moment. And this upright sitting position, of course, you know, no problems on the old aging back. Feels like my back could ride the bike all day, even if my backside couldn't. Right, let's come off here and try around some more twisty roads. Clutch action on here is absolutely lovely, a really light clutch. Cornering is beautiful, really nicely balanced bike. Everybody says, me included, how good handling things like the Street Triple are, which it is. But I have to say, this is just as good, if not better. It seems to carry its weight very nicely. I don't quite know how that works with a V-twin. I expected it to be a bit top heavy if anything, but that's absolutely not the case. It just feels really nicely balanced. But given it is a big old 1.3 litre V-twin, I mean a massive engine, let's face it, it's really smooth. No vibration through the handlebars, or nothing significant anyway. Really nice. As ever, on one of my bike reviews, I find myself stuck behind a truck. So I think what I should do is find somewhere to park up and show you around this beast. Pub seems like as good a place as any. Seat height is fine. I'm just a short fella, and I've got basically I'm on tiptoe, but it's not. It doesn't feel like I'm going to drop it at any point, so that's fine. Okay, this will do, I think. Let's try a little U-turn. Easy peasy, great steering lock. Okay, show you around this puppy then. Okay, so here she is, the KTM Super Duke 1290 GT. I think, as ever with these walk-arounds, let's go for the iPhone thing, because I can properly see what I'm showing you then. There we go. Okay, so this is the Beast's brother, if you like, the Beast being the Super Duke R originally, and this is, as I say, sort of a fairing sport touring version of that machine. It's got the same 1301cc LC8 V-twin engine in it, putting out 173 horsepower. Just incredible numbers, 144 newton meters of torque. Weight-wise, it's pretty light actually. KTM say it's 228 kilograms wet, and as I say, when you're riding it, you certainly don't feel like it's a heavy bike at all. In the flesh, it actually looks much better than I thought it was going to look. One of the reasons why I haven't ridden a KTM before is that I'm not that enamoured with the looks of them, but actually, this one, once you get to see it in the flesh, finishes lovely, and it just looks a beast. It's got those sort of haunches on it. It looks like a rhinoceros about to pounce, if indeed rhinoceroses do pounce. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. Anyway, it's got all sorts of electronic gadgets on it. These things are kind of defined these days by their electronics package. So take it as read that you know, traction control and ABS and all that stuff. These ones also come with LED cornering lights, which is these rather natty lights here. When you go around a corner, they light up into the corner so that at night you can see where you're actually headed, which is very good. It's got, as I say, switchable ABS and traction control. It's even got things called engine drag torque control. No idea what that is. Guess it might be to do with a slipper clutch, something like that. It's got semi-active WP suspension. It's got a quick shifter, which is on the upshift only, but it works really, really nicely. It's got a slipper clutch, it's got tyre pressure monitoring, it's got at the back here, it's even got integrated mounts for the panniers, so it's really neat there, so that I guess that's sort of a nod to its touring mission. It's got an adjustable screen, manually adjustable, heated grips as I mentioned, riding modes of course, which do all the usual stuff, sport, street and rain it comes with. Brakes feel really good when you actually use it. This one has got, I think it's got the Brembo M50s. Let's have a look. Yep, there we go. So top-notch braking from the Brembos, and they certainly feel good when you use them. And if you want to buy one of these, according to the KTM website, it's 15,999, so 16 grand bike. Expensive, but you get quite a lot of bike for your money. Seat height 835 millimeters, so quite high, but I'm only 5'8" and I can get my feet on the ground. Doesn't feel unstable. And the fuel tank holds 23 litres. And up close, she's finished really nicely. The standard of fit and finish is nice. Here we go on the controls. This side we've got a cruise control, which works in the usual way. So that's all well and good. The little display is really clear. We'll talk more about that in a minute. And then on this side you've got this sort of selector pad, which is the equivalent to what you get on the BMWs, where you've got that sort of whiz wheel. This is more like using a mouse. Makes a lot of sense. Makes it much easier. On some of the older bikes, when electronics first came out, it used to be a right faff to change modes and things. You'd have to hold buttons down for a certain number of seconds or what have you. These days it's much, much easier with that sort of thing. Okay. That's enough chat, that's the specs. Let's get back on and ride some more. Yeah, she feels surprisingly light, I have to say. And much less intimidating than I feared. Okay. Sounds lovely. Well, sun's coming out. The motorcycling gods are smiling on me today. A little bit careful up here, there's a speed camera. So you probably can't see it very well on the camera at the moment because the sun's in front of me, but the display here, very, very clear. Everything you need. And what I like about it is that, you know, selecting your options here is very, very straightforward using the keypad, as I said. There's the three riding modes: sport, street and rain. It's a little bit wet and slippy on the road, so I don't want to unleash the whole of sport mode at the moment. But I might try that on the way back. Some other practical things about the bike: the mirrors seem to work very well. I'm not looking just at my shoulders, which is nice. Coming through. Cute. No vibration, they just sit there and work very well. Quite like the design as well, very angular in the whole KTM way. I think the sort of design of the KTM bikes, you either love them or hate them. I think they're sort of, I heard somebody the other day describe them as origami bikes. And I have to say they're not necessarily to my taste, the looks of them, but actually now having seen this one in the flesh, it's actually much nicer than I thought. Just going to check, nothing behind me, just check the back brake. Yeah, not much on the back brake, front brake is very, very good. So no issue with the brakes whatsoever. The gearbox, really, really slick. It's got a quick shifter on the upshift and works really nicely. No clunking, no clanking, much better than the one I've got on the BMW, for example. Handling on these bends is lovely, it just tips in a treat. And to be fair, there's so much power in this engine and traction. If you do just want to lollop along at slow speeds, I mean, I'm just doing 40 miles an hour here now. I'm going to be coming down to 30 as we come into the built-up area. It just handles that, no problem at all. Lollops along. Okay, there's the 30 mile an hour gateway signs. Let's just slow down. There's another camera here as well. So it has a gear position indicator. I'm in third now and it's not complaining at 28 miles an hour at all. It's one of those bikes, when you jump on, it instantly feels kind of friendly. A bit like, you know, an old pair of shoes. I feel completely comfortable with it, which is a bit of a surprise because, as I mentioned, I thought I was going to be intimidated by its power, but actually very, very manageable. And of course, if you do want to go large, then it's very easy to do so on this bike. It feels quite wide. Your legs are relatively widely splayed out. And it's got this sort of fairing and build of the bodywork, gives it these sort of haunches, so it feels like a wide bike. But it does feel quite light, so I think from a filtering point of view, if you're doing a lot of in-town work, wouldn't be a problem. You could filter easily on this. Lovely machine. Better take this puppy home or they'll think I've stolen it. And I can tell I'm getting old when what impresses me about the bike is its upright seating position and its heated grips, and I complain about the seat being hard. Okay, we're in sport mode now. I don't want to go bursting the speed limits too much, just wait till we get into this national speed limit area up here. And I'll just sort of be mindful of the fact that the roads are wet, but I feel sport mode has to be tested at least when you're on a bike with this sort of reputation. It already feels tighter. Right, here we go. Oh my goodness me. So that was third gear and I could feel the front wheel wanting to lift off the ground then. And that wasn't even on full throttle. Yeah, the full 170 brake horsepower is quite something. Like it. Very easy to change modes and so on while you're on the fly here using the little pad here on the left. You basically just select what you want by so this is the damping screen here. If I press set, it sort of makes it active. I can then go up and say, right, I want sport damping, press set again, and then there you go, I'm in sport damping now. Let's see how that goes. So very intuitive to change modes. That's so much better than bikes used to be. So what I remember, I must just say thanks to Jason and the guys at the KTM Centre in Hemel Hempstead for letting me borrow and ride this bike for review today. An amazing showroom they've got up there. They've recently moved, well I say recently, it's probably 6 months or so ago now. If you went to the old KTM Centre in Hemel Hempstead, which used to be quite a small tight shop, if you go and check them out now, they've got a massive showroom full of orange, and well worth a little trip up if you've not been for a while. Great selection of stuff that you can get in that little menu. See, it's on favourites at the moment, but it shows things like all the usual stuff like trip meters and so on, but also shows you your fuel range, battery, etc. All the various electronic settings are very easy to read. I like that a lot. BMW could learn from that. And actually it offers a lot of the same sorts of things that I always rave about that you get on the Nav5 on the BMW. You get that on the KTM as standard. Right, I'm still in sports mode, so let's get back onto the A41, which is a faster road. Just see what that's like. Thank you. Wow. In no time at all, up to silly speeds. But better back off. Yeah, that sports mode is awesome, but I think best save for the track. Really nice. This is one of those bikes that is like a rocket ship. You've got to be paying attention to the speedo, because if you just ride as you want to, you're going to be breaking the law all over the place, so you've got to be careful. Okay, so I've got everything set back to comfortable comfort mode on the suspension, and I've got the drive mode back to street, just to make sure I keep my license clean. So to summarise there, what do I think to the KTM Super Duke GT? Well, as you've probably gathered, I really like the bike. It's a lovely machine. I mean, it really is a sports bike, sort of in Tourer clothing. It's more sports bike than Tourer, I would say. Compared to the Multistrada and the S1000 XR, I prefer it actually from a riding perspective. It's easier to ride, I think, because the weight of this bike is held much lower down. I don't quite know how that works with a V-twin, but weight-wise, balance-wise, I prefer it to the Multistrada and to the BMW S1000 XR. The brakes are great. The engine is just pulls like a train in every gear, so there's no doubt about the engine. It's just a fast bike. It's sports bike fast, basically. It sounds great. The clutch is lovely and light. The mirrors work well, the brakes work very well. Seat, bit hard to be honest, but not uncomfortable because the riding position is comfortable. Your legs are tucked up quite tight, but you're sitting upright. Weather protection, very nice, no issue there at all. And very friendly bike to ride initially. If you've got it set in like comfort mode and you on the lower power drive modes, then it's not intimidating at all. You've got to be very self-disciplined on this bike. It's not a bike for beginners. I don't think it wants to be the first big bike you buy, because you'll get yourself into trouble. I think if you're going to have it in the sport mode, you've got to be very careful about you know, protecting your license. Some of us are better than that than others. I'm not sure I could trust myself. But yeah, lovely bike. If you're in the market for one of these sort of sports touring machines, then definitely check this out. I think you'll be impressed by its ride. Whether I could get on with the looks of it, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. But no problem with build quality and everything else. Okay, so there we have it. That's the Super Duke GT. Hope you found that of interest, and I look forward to speaking to you next time. Until then, this has been the Missenden Fly. Cheerio.